In today's video, I'll be covering the following: how to become a correctional officer in the state of California. So if you live in the state of California and want to become a correctional officer, this step-by-step guide will give you everything you need to know from start to finish. So in today's video, we'll be covering the following. I'm going to start with an introduction. I'm going to go over the minimum requirements, the application process, the written examination, physical fitness test, also known as the PFT, the background investigation, psychological exam, the medical exam and vision test, certification and academy. Introduction. Correctional officers in California are sworn peace officers responsible for supervising individuals who are incarcerated in state prisons. On a day-to-day basis, they maintain order and security within the facility, enforce rules and regulations, conduct searches of inmates and their living areas, escort inmates to meals, medical appointments and programs, and respond to emergencies and disturbances. Beyond security, they also play a role in rehabilitation, monitoring inmate behavior, documenting incidents, and coordinating with counselors and staff. Because they are classified as peace officers under California law, they carry legal authority similar to other law enforcement officers, but their jurisdiction is centered within correctional facilities. So police officers are within the city, within the state, but because you are a peace officer under California law, your jurisdiction as a correctional officer is only within correctional facilities. So you do have authority, but only within the correctional facility. So the work involves rotating shifts, days, evening, nights, and weekends, the possibility of reassignment to any of California's 30+ institutions nationwide, and dealing with high-stress, unpredictable situations on a regular basis. It requires strong communication skills, sound judgment, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. So let's look at the pay. CDCR Correctional Officer pay 2026. So 2026. Academy cadet is roughly earning around $25.84 an hour. This is a cadet. So when you come out of the academy or when you're working the academy, correctional officer after the academy can expect anywhere from $5,510 to $9,203 per month. The gap in between those earnings right there have to do with if you have previous experience working in a correctional facility or not, and other factors which will be determined by the academy or correctional facility at the time. So the annual salary approximately is from $66,120 to $110,436 per year, which is actually above average. So let's look at the complete journey. So phase number 1, you start with the application online, which is about 7 to 10 business days. Then number 2 comes the written examination, which is about 1 to 3 business days. You will learn about all of these later in the video. Physical fitness test within 2 months. Background investigation can take anywhere from 3 to 4 months. Psychological exam is about 1 to 2 months. Medical exam and vision test is about 1 to 2 months. And certification in academy is anywhere from 13 weeks of training plus 4 weeks of shadowing. So 13 weeks of training at the academy and then 4 weeks of shadowing, I believe, at the correctional facility. Minimum requirements. Number 1, age requirement. You must be at least 20 years old at the time of application and 21 years old at the time of appointment to a Basic Correctional Officer Academy, BCOA. This means if you apply at 20 but won't turn 21 before the academy start date, you will not be appointed until you meet the age threshold. Number 2, education. You must have completed the equivalent of 12th grade demonstrated by one of the following: a high school diploma issued by a U.S. institution, passing the California High School Proficiency Examination, CHSPE, passing the General Educational Development GED test, meaning California High School Graduation Standards. So this is continued. Or you have a possession of a college degree, which is Association of Arts or higher from an accredited college or university. Important. Foreign degrees may be evaluated for equivalency through a credential evaluation service accredited by NACES or AICE. So foreign degrees are allowed, but they have to be the equivalent of the U.S. education system. Number 3, citizenship/work authorization. You must be a citizen of the U.S. or a legal permanent residence. Per CDCR's main application page, those legally authorized to work in the U.S. under federal law may also qualify. You will need a valid U.S. Social Security number. It is required to match your record with all required official documents such as transcripts, test scores, and future background checks. Number 4, no felony convictions and firearm legibility. This is one of the most detailed requirements. Per Government Code Section 1029, any person convicted of a felony is disqualified from being employed as a peace officer if you have been convicted of a felony in California or any other state, you have been convicted of any offense in any other state which would have been a felony if committed in California, you have been charged with the felony and adjudged by a superior court to be mentally incompetent, or you have been adjudged, which means deemed addicted or in danger of becoming addicted to narcotics, convicted, and committed in a state institution. This also includes domestic violence misdemeanors convictions, which independently bar you from owning or operating a firearm. Exceptions. When a felony conviction may still allow participations. You may still be allowed to participate in the examination if your convictions have been sealed under Penal Code section, and those are the sections right there, have been expunged or are expungible under Health and Safety Code section, those are the section, were stipulated or designated as a lesser included offense of marijuana possession under Health and Safety Code section 11557 or 11366. Number 5, additional requirements. Beyond the 4 core minimums, CDCR also requires a history of law-abiding behavior, passing a drug screening test, meeting physical and mental suitability standards, being legally eligible to own, possess, and have custody/control of any firearm or other weapon authorized by CDCR. Key disqualification and reapplication rules. This is very important. Candidates disqualified during the background investigation are eligible to reapply 1 year from the date of disqualification. Those disqualified during the pre-employment medical examination or psychological examination are eligible to reapply 6 months from disqualification. Candidates who fail the written examination are eligible to reapply 30 days from the date of disqualification. So the application, you must submit your application through the internet at www.joincdcr.com. Under Peace Officer Careers, click the Apply Now button. If you do not have internet access, there are public access internet terminals in over 150 California public libraries. Contact your local library for information on where the nearest terminal is located and its usage policies. Applications submitted by mail or in person will not be accepted. So let's take a quick look at this. Great. So when you get to this website right here, www.cdcr.ca.gov/POR/. This will take you directly to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation jobs. Now, all you need to do is you can click on Apply Now. Now, unfortunately, at the time of this recording, there is a scheduled maintenance going on, but all you need to do is click Apply Now, and you will be able to find the current openings for a correctional officer in the state of California. And that is everything you pretty much need to know. Remember, I will drop the link below this video in the description, directly leading you to this page right here. And all you need to do is click the Apply Now button. Great. The application is processed through the CDCR's online portal called Pass the Peace Officer Application and Scheduling System, an online service offering potential candidates the ability to apply to become a peace officer for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. So that was the website I just showed you. So that is the official California Department of Corrections website, and it will give you all the information you need there, and you can apply for jobs through that website, and you can even create an online profile for yourself before applying. What you do during the application. Before submitting, you are required to review the full Correctional Officer Consent Agreement, which informs you of the key factors including how personal behavior or past choices may impact your eligibility. You then complete the application online and respond to questions regarding your ability to meet the minimum qualifications. If you do not meet the minimum qualifications at the time you apply, you will be disqualified. Your social security number is required. It is needed to match your record with all required official documents, such as transcripts, test scores, and future background checks. After you submit, monitor your email. That is very important. Once you apply, you should check the email address you provided. Be sure to check your inbox, spam, and junk folders to avoid missing scheduling notices for your selection components. If at any time during the selection process your name, address, phone number, or email address changes, you must complete a change of information form. So always check your inbox, spam, and junk folders. I've made the mistake of not checking them, and some of my most important email has ended up in spam and junk folders. So make sure you keep an eye on all those folders so you can get back to the hiring managers in a timely manner. Written examination. Applicants will receive an email invitation to the written exam within 2 business days of submitting an online application. Official examination results will also be emailed within 2 business days after taking the exam. Current pass rate. 79% of participants pass the written exam. It is considered one of the more approachable steps, but preparation is still recommended. Format and time. You will have 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete the exam. It is available both online and in person. Written exams can be taken online, but in-person exams are still available. The written exam evaluates grammar, spelling, punctuation, reading comprehension, and basic mathematics. So let's look at some of the components of the examination. Number 1, logical ordering. You are presented with a list of numbered sentences that, when combined, form a paragraph, and you are asked to arrange them into the most logical order. These scenarios are set in correctional environments. For example, ordering events after an officer detects marijuana or resolves a conflict between inmates. So you will be asked to order some of the events in logical order. For example, if you detect marijuana or when resolving a conflict between inmates, what would be the most logical steps to take in that kind of scenario if you were a correctional officer? Number 2, schedule interpretation / math. You are presented with information about a schedule and must answer a question using the information provided. This tests your ability to read tables and calculate time gaps or overlaps, a practical skill for managing inmate schedules. Number 3, grammar and spelling identification. You are presented with a short paragraph in which 4 words are underlined and asked to identify which underlined word contains a grammar or spelling error. Number 4, report writing / form accuracy. You are presented with information in a form, followed by 4 options describing that information, and must identify the option that completely, clearly, and accurately describes it effectively, communicating the information in a straightforward manner. This simulates writing or reviewing incident and violation reports. Number 5, picture / scene description. You're presented with the picture followed by 4 options describing the scene and must identify the option that completely, clearly, and accurately describes it. This tests your attention to detail and observational accuracy. Number 6, error detection in forms. You are presented with a completed form and must answer a question using the information provided, including identifying discrepancies between 2 sections of a report. Number 7, comparing statements. You are presented with 2 descriptions of an event, such as conflicting inmate statements, and must identify any difference that may be important enough to examine further. Number 8, judgment / least appropriate action. You are presented with a description of a situation in which an individual faces a dilemma, and you must use your best judgment to identify the least appropriate action for that individual to take. There are 2 more sections, and then we'll talk about the scoring and results. Number 9, basic math. You're asked to solve math problems requiring addition and or subtraction, including multi-step word problems involving inmate counts and duty assignments. And number 10 of the written examination, applying rules and procedures. You are presented with a set of rules or procedures followed by a description of a situation, then asked a question that requires you to apply those rules or procedures. So scoring and results. Those who pass will receive a rank score for the examination under their current application. The score is weighted at 100% and is used to rank candidates on the employment list. So the higher you score, the better your standing. Names of successful competitors are placed on the employment list in order of written test score, and list eligibility expires 24 months after the date of the exam. What happens if you fail or miss it? If you fail the written exam or fail to appear within a designated testing cycle, you will be eliminated but be eligible to apply only after 30 days for the written examination. Prohibited items. The use of smart glasses, AI-powered eyewear, or any internet-connected wearable device is strictly prohibited during the examination. These items will not be allowed in any examination room. Preparation. CDCR provides a free official sample exam on their website. The sample covers all question types listed above with an answer key and full explanations, making it the most targeted study resource available. Now, to make it easy for you to find, I have posted a link to that guide below this video in the description section. Click on that link. It will take you directly to the free official sample examination guide. The physical fitness test, also known as PFT in short form. As a peace officer, you must be able to perform physically demanding activities to help maintain security and to safely respond to emergencies within a correctional environment. The PFT evaluates the strength, endurance, and agility required to perform expected essential duties, testing your ability to perform physical functions at the academy and thereafter at your assigned institution or facility. Pass rate. 90% of candidates pass the PFT. It is one of the higher pass rate steps, but requires real physical preparation, especially the weight carries. Scheduling and logistics. Applicants are notified via email with a website link to self-schedule their PFT. The assigned test location is based on the regional center chosen on the application. The total duration of the PFT event may range from 3 to 4 hours, depending on the number of applicants and operational needs. Applicants should plan accordingly and ensure they are available for the full duration. The course, what you must do. You will run a 500-yard course on a variety of different surfaces, which includes completing a mini obstacle course, carrying 2 45-pound kettlebells 50 yards and setting them down, carrying 1 45-pound kettlebell 75 yards and setting it down, carrying 1 30-pound kettlebell 110 yards and setting it down. Time limit. To pass the PFT, applicants must complete the entire combined course in no more than 5 minutes and 35 seconds. What to bring on test day. Applicants are encouraged to dress in exercise attire and be ready to participate in physically demanding activity. Workout gloves are not permitted. You must bring a valid form of photo identification, the PFT participant agreement form. Cell phones are not permitted in the testing area and should remain locked in your vehicle. What else happens at the PFT event? The PFT day involves more than just a physical test. After successfully completing the PFT, applicants will attend an informational presentation conducted by field training sergeants that provides an overview of correctional officer training, benefits, and career paths. Applicants will then complete their live scan fingerprinting on site or at a nearby facility as part of the background process. For the live scan, you are required to bring Request for Live Scan Service CDCR 3056 form, original Social Security card, marriage certificate if applicable. This is continued. Divorce decree if applicable, legal name change documents if applicable, notarized authorization for release of information form, 1 citizenship document, which can be original birth certificate, naturalization certificate, U.S. passport or permanent resident card, employment authorization document if applicable. What happens if you fail or don't show? The PFT is a single pass or fail event. Applicants who fail to appear within the defined time frame or who fail to finish the full course in 5 minutes and 35 seconds or less will be disqualified from the examination and ineligible to reapply for 30 days. If you have an emergency on test day, contact your regional testing center as soon as possible. If the emergency occurs before the PFT, applicants can reschedule via the self-scheduling website. Military waiver. U.S. military and veteran applicants who provide certification of meeting military physical fitness standards within the past year may be eligible for military PFT waiver. The waiver applies only to the selection process and does not apply to the basic Correctional Officer Academy's physical testing requirements. How to prepare. CDCR's official 30-day training program. CDCR publishes a detailed candidate preparation guide specifically for the PFT. Here is what it recommends across 3 training areas. Endurance training, cardio. The 4-week progression looks like this. You can pause the video and have a quick look over this. I'm not going to read through it. Cross training on alternate days is recommended and can include stair or bleacher running, stationary bike, or hill intervals, each for a minimum of 20 minutes. Strength training. It is essential that you have adequate leg, abdominal, lower back, and grip strength to be prepared for the PFT. Recommended exercises include 2 to 3 sets of squats and leg press, 8 to 12 reps, abdominal crunches, 15 to 20 reps, back extensions, and grip strengthening using a hand grip device or tennis ball. Most importantly, practice carrying 2 45-pound weights in each hand for at least 50 yards. If that's too heavy at first, start out at 30 pounds and add 5 pounds per week until you reach 45 by week 4. Agility training. Agility is the ability to move quickly while changing direction and negotiating obstacles. Recommended drills include a 3-cone drill, a 4-cone cross pattern, a 3-cone sprint drill, box jumps, and plyometric jumps, each performed 2 times per week for 2 to 3 sets. Now what I recommend is on YouTube, if you type these type of trainings out, which is the 3-cone drill, a 4-cone cross pattern, a 3-cone sprint drill, box jumps, etc., you will be able to find some videos on this, as well as some strength training videos on what you can do to physically prepare yourself for the PFT, the physical fitness test. So let's look at the background investigation process. Timing. The background investigation process begins after passing the written exam. The reason it starts so soon is because it can take approximately 90 days, though some more complex investigations may exceed that time frame. Priority processing may result in an earlier hire date. What areas of your life are reviewed? Your employment, housing, relationships, credit responsibility, criminality, fingerprint search. The 7-part background investigation process. So the background investigation has 7 parts to it. Let's take a look. Number 1, the fingerprinting live scan. All candidates will be fingerprinted as part of the background investigation. Fingerprints are provided to the Department of Justice to complete a nationwide criminal records check. Government Code Section 1030 requires this. Each fingerprint is scanned into a database and checked against criminal records nationally. Information received may include charges that have been dismissed. Applicants are live scanned upon successful completion of the physical fitness test. Required documents to bring to the live scan. This is continued. A valid driver's license, proof of citizenship, certified U.S. birth certificate, original naturalization certificate, U.S. passport, permanent resident card, or employment authorization document. It is strongly recommended you also bring Social Security card, legal name change documents, marriage certificate if applicable, and divorce decree if applicable. Number 2, create your ESOPH profile. Once you successfully pass the physical fitness exam, you will receive an ESOPH informational package during the live scan component. This provides detailed instructions on how to create your ESOPH, which stands for Electric Statement or Personal History Profile. When you create your profile, you will be prompted to complete the Personal History Statement, PHS. Number 3, watch the PHS instructional video series. The Background Investigation Unit has created a video series to assist in completing the questionnaires accurately and thoroughly. The videos cover topics including required documents, personal history, relatives and references, education, residence history, employment, other law enforcement agency applications, legal history, inmate/parolee/gang associations, and tattoos. These are available through the CDCR portal. Number 4, complete the PHS questionnaires. The questionnaires are extensive sections of the PHS used to collect personal information regarding a candidate's current and past life history. All candidates must complete and submit the PHS via ESOPH profile that you've created online. The sections continued. Required documents to include with the PHS. Now, I'm not going to read through all of this, but what you can do is pause the video right here and just read through what are the required documents to include with the PHS. Number 4, upload notarized authorization for release of information. The authorization for release of information contained in the ESOPH as an agreement must be printed, filled out, and notarized, then uploaded into the system. Number 6, upload documents. Upload all required documents into the ESOPH system, with the exception of the documents required to be sealed. Documents required to be verified original will be verified by your assigned background investigator. This includes name change documents, military DD-214, social security card, and current automobile insurance card. Number 7, deliver original documents in person. The following original documents must be presented in person to your assigned background investigator or at a background investigation unit office. This is continued. Your original certified U.S. birth certificate, original certified naturalization certificate, or U.S. passport. Bring original and a copy. Certified and sealed original high school transcripts or certified proof of GED or CHS/PE, and certified and sealed college transcripts from any colleges or universities attended. Do not remove sealed educational transcripts from the envelope you received them in. Bring the sealed transcripts to your investigator as directed. Disqualifying factors. Examples of automatic disqualifying information include a felony conviction, a current firearm prohibition, being currently on probation, or an active criminal warrant. Examples of possible disqualifying factors evaluated on a case-by-case basis include misdemeanor convictions, certain serious traffic convictions or patterns of traffic violations, failure to appear, driver's license suspensions, driving under the influence, failure to comply with legal obligations, negative employment history, and substance abuse. Drug use policy. Experimental use of drugs may not be an automatic disqualifying factor. The recency and special circumstances of illegal drug activity will be evaluated to determine suitability. CDCR recognizes some qualified applicants may have used illegal drugs at some point in their past. A case-by-case analysis will determine suitability. However, an applicant will not be selected if they deliberately misrepresent their drug history in connection with their application. Now let's look at the psychological exam. The 3 parts of the psychological evaluation. The psychological evaluation has these 3 parts: 2 personality inventories, a psychological history questionnaire, and interview with the psychologist. Part 1 and 2, written peace officer psychological evaluation, the WPOPE. The WPOPE consists of 2 written psychological inventories that are legally required for the selection of peace officers in California. Each inventory includes a series of questions that help determine your suitability for the role of a peace officer and gives the screening psychologist useful information to discuss during your psychological interview. This written portion also includes the psychological history questionnaire, which gathers background context about your mental health history. Occasionally, treatment records from previous providers are required before scheduling the screening interview. If you do not provide the requested information by the due date, your process may be delayed. Important scheduling note: if you cannot attend your scheduled WPOPE, you must contact your assigned testing center. If you do not reschedule, you may be removed from the selection process and unable to reapply for 6 months from the disqualification date. Part 3. Peace Officer Psychological Screening Interview. After successfully completing the WPOPE, you will be scheduled for a Peace Officer Psychological Screening Interview. In the interview, the psychologist will gather more information to help determine how you might perform in the role of a peace officer. To schedule your interview, you will be contacted via email by staff from the psychological screening program. Check your email every day to watch for the notification, including your junk and spam folders. What the evaluation is assessing. While the CDCR does not publish a specific list of pass/fail criteria, the evaluation is framed around the post 10 psychological screening dimensions. These broadly assess traits such as integrity, impulse control, emotional regulation, stress tolerance, social competence, teamwork, and the absence of bias or conditions that could interfere with peace officer duties. The psychologist is essentially determining whether your psychological profile is consistent with someone who can handle the high pressure, high stakes environment of a correctional institution responsibly and safely. So now let's take a look at the medical exam and vision test. Component number 1, vision test. This test checks your vision and color vision. It is important for correctional officers to clearly see activities and identify objects, including the color of objects, during incidents and investigations. If your vision is not 20/20 in each eye, you must get a written certification from an optometrist or ophthalmologist indicating that vision can be corrected to 20/20 in each eye. If you wear or need to wear corrective lenses, your eye doctor must complete the Peace Officer Vision Verification Form, OPOS 201, and you should bring the completed form to your vision test. If your uncorrected vision is greater than 20/60 in each eye, you're still eligible to meet vision acuity standards with the use of contact lenses, soft, serial, or hybrid. If your eyesight has been surgically corrected, the surgery must be completed at least 1 month before your CDCR vision examination. Component number 2, hearing test. This test checks your hearing levels and your response to various sounds. It is a standard audiometric evaluation to confirm you can hear within the range required for correctional duties, including verbal commands, alarms, and radio communications. Component number 3, blood work. A chemistry panel tests your blood plasma, which can indicate any issues that exist with your kidneys, liver, and blood sugar levels. This is a standard pre-employment health screen to identify any underlying medical conditions that could affect your ability to perform the duties of a peace officer. Component number 4, respiratory mask fit test. For this test, you will try on respiratory masks to ensure they form a proper seal on your face so they can protect you from inhaling harmful substances in the event of an emergency. Component number 5, urinalysis drug screening. This test checks your urine for the presence of illicit drugs. You will provide a urine sample to the physician conducting your physical examination, which will be tested for the following substances. There's a list right here of the substances you will be tested for. Note that marijuana is included on the drug screen, despite California's legalization of recreational cannabis. A positive result is disqualifying at this stage. Component number 6, tuberculosis TB screening. Before reporting to the Basic Correctional Officer Academy, you must provide a negative tuberculosis screening test from your physician. The TB test is a skin test performed by injecting a small amount of fluid, tuberculin, into the skin on the lower part of your arm to see how your immune system reacts. You must return within 48 to 72 hours to have your physician evaluate the reaction on your arm, which will indicate whether you have been exposed to tuberculosis. Critical scheduling note. This appointment cannot be treated casually. As noted in the broader hiring process, the pre-employment medical examination cannot be rescheduled. Candidates who fail to appear will be disqualified. Treat this appointment as if it is the most important one in the entire process. And the final section in the California Correctional Officer hiring process is the certification and academy. Part A, certification. After successfully completing all steps, you will be added to a certification list stating that you are eligible to work as a correctional peace officer. This is the official confirmation that you have cleared every gate in the hiring process: written exam, PFT, background, psychological and medical, and are ready to be hired. After you accept your institution assignment, you can begin your peace officer training at the academy. Once you are sworn in, you will join the ranks of more than 30,000 officers who lead with integrity, trust, and respect. Part B, the Basic Correctional Officer Academy, BCOA. The 13-week academy is designed to prepare you to be a successful correctional officer in California. This training is a dynamic mixture of immersive reality-based training, lecture, and testing. Successful completion results in you becoming a peace officer for CDCR. The Basic Correctional Officer Academy, BCOA, is located in Galt, California, near Sacramento. Once you complete the selection process and accept an institution assignment, you will be assigned an academy date. Cadets receive pay, housing, and meals during the academy. You have the option of living on site at no cost or off site at your own expense. You may leave the ground from the end of the scheduled duty day on Friday until the start of the scheduled duty hours on Monday. All attending cadets will be provided meals during the academy. If you live more than 30 miles away from the academy, you are required to live on site during the 13 weeks. Uniform and gear costs. Each cadet will need to buy required uniforms, equipment/accessories, athletic gear, and school supplies prior to arrival. These items will cost approximately $2,000 to $3,000. Once you graduate and report to your institution, you may be eligible to receive an annual uniform allowance of up to $1,000. Physical fitness test again. All cadets are required to pass the physical fitness test again at the academy in 5 minutes and 35 seconds. The same course you passed during the selection process must be passed again here. Maintain your physical conditioning between certification and your academy start date. Part C, Post-Academy Job Shadowing Program. Upon successful completion of the academy, all cadets report to their assigned institution and begin a 4-week job shadowing program, which includes 1 week of institution-specific training covering the layout of the facility, contact information, location of critical areas, job expectations, and more. 3 weeks of job shadowing, during which graduates work with a mentor to learn on the job. All graduates will be partnered with a new mentor every day. Great. I do hope that you did enjoy this overview of California's correctional officer hiring process. If you do have any specific questions about the hiring process, don't forget to leave them in the comment section below this video. If you want to learn more on how to land jobs and reach your career goals, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button to get new videos every single week. Also, don't forget to hit that like button because that motivates me to keep doing what I do. Stay safe, keep smiling, and good luck.